Welcome. Alrighty. Finally got one design. This one wasn't one that was suggested or voted on. This is one that I found in my pile of stuff that I really want to do. So this one, it's going to be a little tricky because this is not a pumpkin carving pattern. I don't know why someone would have a stencil for Indiana Jones, but hey, why not? So, we got our materials. We got our pumpkin stencil, which we're going to be using cutter. I just call it a hot knife. I don't know what they actually call these because it has different tips on it. It's not plugged in, or else I wouldn't touch it. But you can unscrew this and change the tips on it. It can be like a wood burning tool. So it's like a electric multi-use tool, but I only use the X-Acto knife tips for carving the pumpkins. Some of the pumpkins don't have the best texture for this. Those would be the ones that seem like they're made out of recycled paper. So, yeah. So it's going to be just a little bit to heat this all the way up to where it's going to cut the pumpkin. So let's plug it in right now. And luckily they come with this really, really nice stand. Folds up for nice use, and then you just flip it over. It's got these little knobs on the end so that it sits just like this and can't go any further. So we just set it down, put the in between there, let it sit right there. So we're gonna let that warm up, and while we're waiting for that, let's see where on this pumpkin we're gonna put it. I usually prefer to find the flatter side as opposed to like the really lumpy ones, and they usually have a nice seam so that you can find either the more wobbly side or, see, this one has like a big hump right there, so we're gonna go with this side. Sometimes I use thumbtacks. For this one I'm just gonna use tape because I think I'm going to have to reposition this a little bit a few times because, I mean, pumpkins are round, paper's not, so we shall see. Most of this is going to be easy to figure out what to cut, but a couple of these, I'm just going to have to use my best judgment on it. You know, I think that's a little bit low. We don't want the pattern too low or too high. So put it there. So I think that's a really good spot to put that. I know it's not Halloween related, but, you know, we're big Indiana Jones fans around here, so make sure it's straight too. Don't want to put it on there crooked, which it looks like it's a little crooked, which is another reason why I don't use the thumbtacks anymore. They don't put a hole in there big enough for light to come through, but it's still a hole in it. And these pumpkins last a really long time, but if you're like me and they're outside in the weather for a really long time, it does tend to take its toll anywhere that it's, what's a good word for that? The integrity is compromised. Anywhere there's holes and things, those start to wear out faster. But like this one is, I guess you would call this like a soft foam pumpkin. As I was saying before, some of them are like recycled paper, where I wouldn't want to put those outside. I think they would get wet, which is gross. Now, to check the heat of this, yeah, don't like, no. Easy way to do it is just see if it'll go into the pumpkin. Nope, it's not quite ready yet. Yeah, don't touch it. I hope nobody would ever tell you to touch it, but no. And a couple other tools that I use. Got these little hook dinghies. Some of these are for pushing the pieces in, and some of them are for pulling them out. It really depends on how small it is. Like ones like right here. Yeah, definitely gonna be really, really careful and punch those in. And when I'm doing these, you want to find the smallest pieces and carve those out first, because if you do the big ones and then try and do a little piece, it's really easy to break these things. I do have some really good like Loctite super glue that I've had to fix many pumpkins with, but it's better if I don't have to do that right away. Yeah, see, like the hat is definitely going to need some more taping down because, well, as I said, pumpkins are round. But I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I counting wrong? 6, 7. I should have 8 pumpkins down there, but I thought I had 9 extras that were uncarved. But if you have any suggestions on what to carve on those, we have a lot of them already for like just general Halloween stuff, movie monsters, movie villains, things like that. Let's see, we have, okay, I have Vincent Price, Elvira, Freddy Krueger, although that one's not finished yet because it's that really crappy, hard to cut pumpkin material. Pennywise the Clown, although the way that I cut it, it could be Homie the Clown, if you know who that is. So whatever you think it is, Pennywise, Homie, that's the right one. Whatever you think it is. What else? Gmork from Neverending Story. What else? Gosh, I gotta think of them all. I tried to do Igor from Young Frankenstein, but I had something like this where I just kind of did it myself. It's not an actual pumpkin pattern, and I kind of cut it opposite of what I was supposed to be cutting out. So it looks really weird. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. Oh gosh. You know, witches, cats, bats, hats, all that fun stuff. Just cool pumpkin faces. I'm trying to think of what other like movie things that we have. I got a lot of them, but some of them have been damaged over the years, so definitely gonna have to retire some. Minnie Mouse is completely dead. I did that for my kids years ago, and yeah, she would lose a piece here and a piece there, and yeah, there's almost nothing left of it. Are we ready? Are we ready, Hot Knife? Not quite. Hey, I forgot. This particular one that I'm using is not my normal one. Look at that. There's an on-off switch, silly. That's why it's not heating up. I'm going to say it's usually pretty fast. So, yeah. Well, that was silly. Oh, goodness. But, yeah, I'm excited to do some new pumpkins. I don't think I've carved any new ones in about 4 years. It's because we had so many. But, like I said, a lot of them got wrecked. Some of them, the pattern is so big on it, they just kind of, you know, are starting to collapse in on themselves. I've also done the creature of from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That was fun because I carved holes and then put the foam eyeballs in it. So really, the only thing that glows is just the mouth. I mean, the eyes, I made them thin enough so that some light does go through the eyes. So it's pretty cool. I think we're finally getting there. Almost. Almost. Now this isn't the one with the temperature setting. Okay, good. Because I have a wood burner that has a temperature setting on there. I've had suggestions for, I think it was like Pumpkinception, where it was like a pumpkin and a pumpkin and a pumpkin. So that would be kind of interesting. I mean, I could definitely carve something like that. And then something to do with trees, which is nice. I was thinking a tall, like scraggly tree with something hanging from it. That would be kind of cool, I think. What else? And I found these bags of rats. Let's see, 1, 2, like 3 of them. And they've got 1, 2, 4 rats in each, but they're those really squishy, gross rats. So I don't know. I think they're pretty cool. Oh dear. Well, luckily the neighbors' dogs have calmed down. They're usually quiet, but I don't know. I think people were playing in the front yard or something, and one of them was setting the dog off, so she's back in the house. Or else she'd probably just be pawing on me. But these things are not safe with pets, definitely. Okay, are we hot yet? Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see how that's just sliding right in there. I don't even barely have to like touch it. That's nice. So where shall we start? Definitely some smaller pieces, obviously. Yep, like the ear has some really tiny stuff, the eyes, and like nose and mouth. Those are always the first ones I do, and then I just work my way out to the bigger ones. Sometimes if I can't decide, I'll also take like a marker and make sure like, okay, I'm definitely going to cut this one. Because like this right here, this would be left in there, but there's nothing to attach it. So I got to get creative. I'll either like leave it attached here or to something else. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. We shall see. Alrighty. Let's go. Oh, and a lot of people, for these, they just like make little holes or designs and like take the paper off. I just leave it on there. I don't really see the need to take the paper off. I will say when you're making corners and turns with the X-Acto knife, be careful because you can unscrew it. So just be aware of that when you're using these. Okay, we got the, I don't know, whatever this part of your face is called. Let's do a nostril. And luckily these pumpkins are not too thick. So really fine stuff like this nostril, you really don't have to go in very far. You can definitely get yourself with these. Many years ago I wasn't paying attention and jammed it really pretty far into this thumb. It does instantly cauterize it. I have a weird little scar on this thumb because of it. So beware, they're sharp and they're very hot. Alrighty, so I think next we should go with the eyes. I guess it's like an eyebrow right there. Best part about these is as long as you get like the general shape, they look great when they're lit up, because my Elvira one wasn't perfect. I mean, at least at the time I was looking for it, there's no Elvira pumpkin template. And I'm sorry if anybody wants to use the template I used. I already threw away the paper because you'll see when I'm done with this, it's just going to be full of holes and stuff. So unless you have another copy already, you're not going to be able to recreate it. Let's get some eyeballs for Indy. And it's definitely as hot as it's going to go. So I'm not sure if you can see like how easily it goes in. It's like butter. Love it, love it. Definitely recommend if you want to do pumpkins and things like this, try and find them at whatever store you have over here. That would be like Michael's or like Hobby Lobby, if Hobby Lobby's like, pumpkins are evil. But yeah, try and find them like when they're on sale. That's the best way to do it because they can get expensive. And now in the stores, some of them have it where you can like have them design it and like carve something. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, if you don't have one of these, it's kind of hard to. The first ones we ever carved, we used like a kitchen knife. Yeah, it's pretty jagged. Although that pumpkin, we still use it every year. Still looks good. It's just not clean and smooth design like these are. Get that little old piece of ear. Good job. Alrighty. Something else really small. Yeah, this part of the ear here. And this is definitely something that we do year-round. Right now, it is nasty, disgusting weather outside. It's been snowing and raining, and it's probably going to snow again and then rain again. Because around here, it loves to flood in January, which sucks. But gives me an excuse to work indoors and get stuff done. Sometimes it's painting, sometimes it's stuff like this, getting the pumpkins done. And also with these, I don't know if you can see there's two little screws on there that are holding it in. If you push too hard on this, you can start to like bend the knife itself. Like it'll start to go backwards. So like I said, it's hot, it'll go. You just to let it do its thing. Use more of that in his neck. And welcome to everyone who is joining. Sorry if I can't see all the comments, if there are any, because as I said, I've already got myself like once with this. Yeah. Many years ago, I learned my lesson, but it can still happen again if you don't pay attention. Okay. Got that part of the ear. Now we'll go up a little bit more. Another reason why leaving the paper on is good is because you have, to me, it's a better idea of, if you have really thin lines like this, of where you need to be cutting, where you've already cut, as opposed to sometimes, especially with the lighter pumpkins, when you cut into it, it's the same color. So it might not look like, oh, did I get that in there? But you'll definitely be able to see it once we take the paper off and start punching these out. Let's do some more of this mouth here. Yep, there's the Borkin again. And I am doing something which you shouldn't do, which is cutting towards yourself. Because if you're doing it, just say a little harder, like pushing a little harder than you should, it can potentially whoop and get you, which is what happened when I stabbed my thumb. I was curious what would happen if you did that, but that's exactly what I thought. It did cauterize it. I know it didn't go all the way into like the bone, but yeah, it didn't bleed or anything. Luckily, that stuff doesn't really bother me too much. But yeah, it didn't feel good. It burned for quite a while. Facial features are always harder to do because you got to be really, really careful about not cutting in the wrong spots. Good thing about having larger areas that you're cutting out is instead of having one like large piece, you can just start like making cuts across. That way you can start like removing pieces as well, instead of trying to remove one large piece. And there will be some spots where you didn't quite meet. See how like I'm taking it out and putting it back in to move it? That's because, as I said before, it's easy to unscrew it. So I don't want to like actually turn the blade itself too much. I do like a little curve, I'll take it out, reposition it, and then do it. Like right here, there's a big curve right here on his lip. So that's what I'm doing right now. Trying to turn it away so that you can see it, but so that I don't do anything that I shouldn't, like oopsie miss. Okay. I really love carving pumpkins so much. It's just really fun. It's relaxing too, honestly. Nice and chill, especially got some tunes going on, which I don't have in the background because I didn't know how it was going to pick it up in here. I'm in the garage as opposed to the house. Last time I did a live stream of carving pumpkin. Now, this is where I got to be careful because all this white I'm not cutting out, but I can see that there's almost nothing attaching it to the pumpkin. So, like some of these, I'm going to have to decide where I'm going to like keep it connected. So like maybe down here, I'm not gonna like cut it all the way through. If not, you're gonna have to, well, glue it back in. Because clearly if you cut it all the way out, then there's not gonna be anything left. Okay, have I already cut that? Yeah, I did. Okay. I've already cut there, and the black is getting all the way cut out, so I'm just going to cut through it. Sometimes it's easier for those little teeny tiny turns or corners or whatnot. Some of those are tricky. So I think we're going to use this piece right here as a way to keep this one attached. So instead of cutting it like around here, I'm just going to cut it down and then continue it this way. So there's something still holding it into the pumpkin. I mean, carving with patterns is really fun. But sometimes it's cool to just, you know, try something else out on your own. Like, there's definitely no pumpkin pattern for Vincent Price, and there's no pumpkin pattern for Elvira, but I really wanted those. And that's how I messed up the Igor one. Where does he go by Igor? I haven't seen the movie in a while. I feel bad. I can't remember. And then once all the paper's gone, you can make adjustments like, oh, okay, this didn't cut all the way through. This isn't thick enough, so you can't really see. And I used to cut the tops off to put like little candles and stuff in, but instead in the back I carve a hole, and that's where I stick, like, you know, the little like string lights. That way I can have the pumpkins next to each other and just, you know, shove it in the back, and then they can be lit up. I do have ones I was going to test out afterwards. These are ones that I made. You can see the wiring. And it's just PVC and an LED light in there that flickers. Those are fun. I love making my own candles. Those are very, very fun. It's the wiring that you got to be careful with, but there's lots of tutorials on how to, you know, properly wire those and such, which is good. As long as you don't go all the way up here, it usually doesn't get a lot of the material on there of what you are cutting. These pumpkins are good quality, so they don't do that, whereas those weird paper mache ones, I don't know what's up with those pumpkins. They're gross. I don't prefer them. But yeah, if you do have stuff on it, it's, in my opinion, easier to get it off once it's cooled, and then you could just use, I wouldn't say a wire brush. You don't have to use that because it's just like melted foam. It's not like styrofoam, which hardens. Yeah, I don't know like different foam terminologies, but like the ones with the balls, that's what I consider styrofoam. That is, you don't want to cut it with this. And I also have one that I use for cutting tombstones. Where are you? That one, I don't know if there's any way to ever not have this stuff get melted onto it. This isn't like a hot wire one, which, by the way, those are fantastic, and I don't have one. But like this one, I don't know if you can see all the crud that's on here from all the tombstones and stuff. But this is just something like I just picked up at Harbor Freight. I think maybe it was $12 or something. If I want to experiment with something, I'm not going to buy like the really expensive thing to do it with, because you know what, I might decide, hey, you know, I don't really like that. So just get some coffee. Oh, Indy, I've blinded you. I've blinded you. Should put a snake in here. Haha, just kidding. Alrighty, where were we? Oh, we were down here cutting. Okay, so yeah, let's use some of this collar here to keep that. The white part is the part of the pumpkin that's staying. And then all of the black is going to be cut out. But we're going to have to be a little creative with it. Didn't do his chinny chin chin yet. The shadow is in such a way that it doesn't have the scar, but that's okay. Everyone knows who it is without seeing that. I swear that wasn't a toot, it was my elbow. Okay, how is this going to go? That's the black, so let's make this one go here. So I'm not going to go all the way up on it. I'm just going to cut it across and then go to here. I mean, it would be good if I had like an extra one of these to like show this is what the pattern was, and then do it right next to it when it's all lit up once I'm done. But I don't have one of those. I have had this pattern waiting to be carved for so long. I don't even remember where I got it from. That's quite a while. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be really tricky with this chin area, but we can do it. If I can do tiny nose on Elvira and do her hair, I can do this. Just have to make this part a little wider. There we go. We don't want to have anything breaking, but as I said, you know, I got that super glue in the refrigerator. Okay. And then let's give it the face a little bit more, what's it called? A little bit support. So I'm not actually going to carve this all the way up. I'm not going to carve that part at all. I stopped right here. So there's this thick part right there that's still attached. Yep, it's really, really going in like butter. Love it, love it. I'm saying, am I actually humming the theme? Yes, of course you are, silly Billy. Almost got the bottom. Well, it's about halfway done on the bottom now. Do a nice bust, I guess you would say. Profile photo, perhaps? I don't know what you call it. It's a headshot. There you go. It's a headshot of Indy. So nice. Very good. Okay, so we left that there. Make sure we don't cut it out accidentally. And then we'll just start a little further back on this shoulder area. Supposed to be watching the Indiana Jones movie today. But that's okay. I have plenty of time to do that after we do this. That'll be so nice. We can just put this pumpkin up in the living room while we're watching it. Oh yeah. Very stylish. And then I forgot that I'd had some, but I found some pumpkin actual patterns. I don't remember if they sold them at the college, but the local college in our area, their mascot is the Wolfpack. So I thought, hey, that's awesome. Let's get those, and then we can carve a pumpkin for the local college team. I mean, not like giving to them, but you know, just to have it because their mascot looks pretty cool. Gotta watch those fingers. Okay, whoop, there we go. Sometimes I'll move the paper just so I can get like a more clear look at where I am. Obviously, if you've already cut that part. Okay, make sure we're not gonna cut anything that we're not supposed to right there. Again, I apologize if people are commenting, but got to keep my eyes on where the hot stuff is going. Because also these pumpkins are really slippery. Really slippery. So I don't want it to be like, whoop, and I just, you know, cut off my eyebrow or something. That would not be good. Might be entertaining, but it won't feel good. And even though the tape's there, it's fine to just cut through it. No biggie. And it has this really, really thin line right there. I'm going to wait until all the paper's gone and see if I want to cut that or if it's just not necessary. Okay, we've got all of these done. So let's finish some more on the bottom. Okay, that one is keeping it whole. So there we go. Don't want any of that white to break off because we accidentally cut it. And you know, you're gonna make mistakes when you do these. Doesn't matter how many pumpkins I've carved, it's always a chance you could be like, oops, I wasn't supposed to cut right there. It's not really a big deal. As long as you don't break the entire design out, then okay, you might have to get a little creative with it. I've done that before too. I got almost all the way done with a gargoyle I was doing for my sister and I broke it. Like all the way through. So I ended up having to get creative and turn it into something else. Don't remember what that one is right now. Alright. Itchy. Okay, so we just have this little piece. Nope, we got one more little tab right there, and then we can go down. I don't think I've ever done a freehand pumpkin. It's always been something that I either had a paper one for, like something that could like guide me on where I'm going to cut, or something that I either drew on the pumpkin. I did one of those too, where I just let my oldest, who was just a toddler at the time, like, hey, here's a Sharpie, draw on the pumpkin and I'll carve it. That one actually came out pretty cute. What else? Do this one here, and a little bit more of these like detail. If I can get it right back in there. There we go. And so I think we got all the bottom done. Got the face. Okay, now it's time to start on the hat area. Although we haven't finished the side of the face right there. Oh, and I didn't tell you what happens if I do make this too loose. All I do is, it's okay to do it while it's plugged in. I just grab a pair of pliers and grab the tip and just turn it until it's tight again. It's not a problem. And whatever's on here, it doesn't like come off on the pliers or whatever. They're really easy to tighten back up. Wish I knew I remembered where I got this pattern. I've definitely had it for at least 6 years. Yeah, sometimes the pumpkin's gotta wait that long just to get carved. Kind of sad. Okay, cut across the face, get the nose. Okay, let's get your sideburns. I don't know if the noise that this makes is showing up, but it's kind of a cool noise when you cut in like through the paper. I don't think I've ever had the paper like burn when I'm cutting it, but I don't like just leave it in. You could probably burn the pumpkin too if you left it in, but you shouldn't do that. That is not the point. The point is get it in and move it as quickly as it wants to go. All right, we did the side of the hat. There we go. We'll leave some space for this brim shot. I almost lost hold of the pumpkin. That wouldn't be good. Like I said, they're very slippery. Stop making toots, elbow. Of course, if I wasn't leaning on my elbow, it might not, but oh well. We'll see. Oh gosh, my watch just scared the crap out of me. Stupid watches. Oh boy. That's funny. Nothing in the haunted house scares me, but man, if you just come up behind me and say hi, I will jump 3 feet. So ridiculous. Okay, before we finish going to the top of the hat, and of course, now I try and make the sound, it won't do it, you rascal. Let's go up a little bit higher on the hat than it is, just because we're so close to that eye area. Okay. All right, we're almost there. So let's get this part of the hat. Don't fall out of my hands, please. You scare me. You a little tricky thing here. Just because that paper's kind of crumpled up right there. Sometimes you just gotta use the force, Luke. A little bit more hat to go. There we go. All right. A couple more shinies for the hat. Okay, I might not do that outside line for the hat. We'll see how it looks without it. And just see if it shows up well like this. Because it's an awfully thin line. Okay, get that one. Okay, I guess just the top of the hat to go. Woohoo! And then comes the fun part, ripping it all out. Okay, there's that one. Now, even though I will be done carving it, I will still leave the hot knife plugged in case I need to do like some additional cuts. And like this is a really big piece right here. So if I were to try and pull that out, I might break something over here. So I'm going to make a few cuts across it just so that I have some smaller pieces to rip out instead of the big giant ones. Don't have any there, so I'm gonna make another one on the bottom here. What else? Maybe another one right here. Now, while I'm doing this, some of the pieces could just decide, hey, I'm totally free, I'm going to jump out. So just be careful when you meet the edges with the cuts when you're doing that at this point. Alrighty, and maybe another one here for the hat brim. These areas are a little tricky. We don't want anything to happen to them. Yes, I'm cutting into little pieces. Sure, that's what Belloc wanted. Okay, I think that we are ready to go. So, I'm gonna leave that here. But plugged in. Yeah, that was, you know what I'm saying. But it is still plugged in. That did not sound good. So, first off, I was going to rip the paper off like I normally do, but I'll take it off nicely this time. Let's see, where's the other tape? There we go. Yeah, it's definitely easier to work with the darker pumpkins. They have black ones, they have orange ones, but the white ones also look cool too. Put on the tape good. Where are you? Oh, I know where it is. It's in the drawer. If I can get it open. There we go. You can also just use this to try and get that off. There we go. This is why I normally just rip it off. But I'm trying to be good this time. Maybe as I have something of a comparison left over. These are old crappy scissors. They don't even meet when I close them. Look. They're just paper scissors. They're just for doing whatever. One more on the bottom maybe. That might be it. No, two more. Luckily, the ones on the bottom didn't stay very good. They weren't completely attached to him. I think because I wasn't pushing on them like I was on the top ones. All right, so probably not all going to come off anyway, just because when you cut it into the pumpkin, then some of it stays. So we're just going to have to rip it off anyway. I was trying to do it good, but it's not possible. And I also have a little tiny baby brush that I use for, sometimes this paper will not come off of it. And you don't want to do removal of that on anything harsh. I know it's like it's glued, right? It's not. It's just kind of smelted? Smelted, yeah. Smelted, delted. Now, if this was an orange pumpkin, you would be able to see the cut lines a lot better. I don't think you can, like, barely see them at all on this one. But we tried out the pattern, how it looked, you know, just putting it up against all the pumpkins, and we chose this one because we like the shape of it. Because each one, they have their own little, not a personality, but have the way that they look the best. A little clean up really quick like. There we go. Alright, let's start jabbing him. Let's do the teeny tiny pieces first. So I'm just going to shove these in. So you can show what I'm doing. Sometimes they're just not able to go in, and so I might have to like recut a piece because of that. And these are also handy for getting the corners of the paper up. Some parts might be hard to see, like where I'm supposed to be getting it out of. Another one I like to use is like the angled one for pushing, like just say there's a little triangle right here. Boop. So I popped it right in there. Pretty easy. And the way I get them out is I just wait until I have the bigger spots open, and then I just shake it out. It's all good. Okay, we have another small piece here. Boink. Let's not do that to your face, right, Indy? Yeah, I'm going to have to cut this one a little bit more, I think, because it's just not coming out well. All right, what else? I know there's some nose pieces over here. Here, maybe we'll get the eye. I don't think this one cut very well because it's not going out of the pumpkin easily. Put this, put that. Alrighty. So how about you? Will you push in? Well, as I said, it's a little, you know, finagling, a little fixing, all that stuff. That's why I leave it plugged in. Okay, so that one obviously is not cut all the way right there. Okay, and we didn't really get this one to go very well, so let's cut it again. Sometimes you can make it a little bit thicker. 'Tis all goot. As long as you can get some light coming through it, that's the goal. Alright, we got that little cheek thing going. There we go. Okay. That one, it doesn't even look like it's met. It looks like I missed a line. So, we'll just, right there. There we go. Maybe do another little cut there. And these also didn't go through very well. So we'll just recut a few. No biggie, especially since they're already cut. Yeah, this is where also you need to be careful on the really detailed parts because it's already mostly cut. Maybe it just didn't get that last like millimeter or whatever. Be careful because you can easily just whoop and cut his face all out. Nope, that's not the one I want. I want the other one, the angled pokey. There we go. We're getting some pieces knocked out finally. How about you? Are you ready to go? Gotta be really careful right here. I don't want to break your nose. I feel like I'm going to. Okay, there's that. You can probably hear that pop. That was the piece that needed to be cut finally going. There we go. Yeah, you shouldn't have to push really hard on them. Okay, there we go. We're getting it. We're getting it. It's going. Getting some face pieces going. All right, hey. Yeah, you eyeball ones are not going. Let's redo your entire eye over here. Sit you back down and try to punch these eye pieces out. There we go. Nice and smooth. That's what we like. Come on, you. Okay, that one doesn't want to go. Do. Yeah. Eyeball! Woo! He can see! Okay, next. Can we punch your nose out? No, we cannot. Just cutting a few of these other ones a little smaller so we can get them. Oh, there's the brush. This is the brush I was talking about. It's a little, just a little baby brush you can use to try and loosen up all those paper pieces, like get them off. Because, I mean, you don't want that as the end goal. You want to get all of it off. But if it's attached to the ones that are going to get punched out anyway, it's all good. Oh, that one's not ready to go. Your nostril, sir. Sometimes if you have a big enough hole, you can like reach in on the other side and like pull the pieces out, depending on how much they are not wanting to move. Let's see if we can get any of this one to come out. Really doesn't want to. It's a weird sounding vehicle out there. There's no ice right now on the road, so it sounds like it's stuck. Just like, oh, that not to be a vehicle. That sounds like the neighbor's trying to cut more of that willow tree down. It's definitely a chainsaw. I hope they're not in the tree again like they were last time. I was watching them and I saw a piece hit like the neighbor's fence. Like, if you have a big giant tree, this is like a 50-foot tree that they're, you know, cutting branches and stuff down. You need to like secure the big giant branches that you're dropping down, or else they're just going to fall willy-nilly. You don't want that, because then you're going to be responsible for damages to somebody's property or your own. Either way, it's not good. All right, making some headway on the face. A little bit more right there. Didn't quite come out all the way. You gotta be gentle. Be gentle with me. I don't know how many Indiana Jones quotes gonna get out while doing the pumpkin. Looking pretty good. You see part of Indy's face. Looking good. It's not going to be able to get super dark in here, but I think you will get a really good idea of how it's going to look in the dark. What am I after? I'm after a poker. Alright, let's do some more of these little tiny bits. Those are the ones you got to be really careful not to break, well, the entire thing. Okay, that belongs to that, so we need another cut over here, just so that it can go through. Oh, yeah. Good, we got your neck. Yay. Pop it in. Pop it in. Get in there. I'm trying to put it so that I can show y'all better how to get these out. But, yeah, it just takes a little patience is the main thing I would say with carving these pumpkins. Patience. If that might be a problem for you, yeah, maybe ask somebody to help you. There we go. And I don't know if you can see it, but sometimes you get like little edges like that on there. You can easily just take this and whoop, cut it off. No biggie. Yeah, looking good, sir. Looking good. Oh, gotta be careful. Looks like that one right there wants to break. So we're gonna make it smaller. smaller pieces. Just cut all the way across to make it fit better. Okay, I think it'll go now. Boop. There we go. We got that one. Boop. And that one went nicely. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Get the rest of these papers off. Okay, we had a little piece going through here. I just didn't do the top because I wasn't sure how thin it was going to be. So that's one of those like afterwards thingies. Okay. Got a little neck piece here that I probably should have taken out earlier because it's super tiny, but we can work with it still. Because yeah, this is like the chin area. Got to have your strong chins. But I can also feel how like weak the pumpkin is at that point. So, yes. And for storing these, you're gonna have to have some space because they can't be like piled on each other or anything that's gonna be pushing on the design. I've carved some for people and shipped them before. Yee. I will say a couple of them did not make it through without some damages, even though I packed them very loosely and with bubble wraps. Yeah, so that's another thing if you're thinking about, oh, I'm gonna make these for people and send them. Yeah, there's always stuff that can happen to it when that happens. Okay. There's that one. You gonna go? You gonna let me? Nope. Okay. We'll just work in another spot. And if you're in a really weak spot, like right here, I should have done those first. You can just hold it on the inside, just in case, because it's really weak right there. There's just a little piece of pumpkin holding basically his whole face right there on. This chin thing is a little bit thin. Where's my pokey? There you are. Okay, that one needs like a little bit more. Yeah, those are just stuff that I need to clean up with the cutting, because when I went in for the second round, I kind of did it in a different spot, so that's what happened there. Okay. Will you go in nicely this time? That, and come on, you know you want to. Yes, you must talk to your pumpkin. It's the only way to save your sanity. Okay, so that one right there is the next one to go. Definitely a small piece. They're going to make another cut to go across. Ooh, yeah, that was really cut. That one definitely didn't need too much encouragement to go. Okay, I think that felt pretty good. Like it just wants to pop right through. All right, let's rock and roll. Ah, yes, there's some more of those little tiny pieces. Will you punch through? No, you will not. Let's not force that because I don't want to break his face. I need to clear a little bit more paper just to see what we're working with. Okay, there we go. Sideburns are gone. Or sideburn, I guess. You can't see the ones on the other side. Maybe. If I get that one to go in, I need the smaller, just a little punch tool. I really don't know what these are called. I think my husband saw I was having trouble getting stuff out one day, and he's like, here, try these. Yeah, they've got like numbers and stuff on them. They're Stanley brand, but I don't know what these are called or what they're for. As haunters, we hardly ever use anything for its intended purpose. What was I buying in the store? And the person asked me, gosh, what was it? I don't remember what it was, but quite often I go in there, you know, one of those home stores, and they're like, oh, are you doing this? I'm like, nope, I'm doing this. What was I doing with that? Was I buying paint? That might have been what it was. I was probably buying like a few gallons of paint, and like, oh, are you redoing your, room or whatever? Like, nope, I'm painting a haunted house. And he's like, what? So I explained to them, and they're like, oh, cool, I want to go. So I love that. People are always so interested in it and things like that. That's why I do it. I mean, I enjoy it, but it's really to give other people enjoyment. That's why I do it. I do it year round. I got real people work that I'm not supposed to do. I do, but this is what brings you the joy. Okay. It would be so sad if people never went trick-or-treating ever again or anything like that. Trunk or treat's fine, but it shouldn't be the only option. I can't wait to start building on this haunted house. Ooh, yeah. Got so many ideas, but I can't start building this early in the year, obviously. Nothing else. It's really bad for the panels to be out in this type of weather. I mean, they do get rain, but rain and snow and rain and snow and oh gosh, no. Sitting in moisture, that would be very, very bad. Because us home haunters, well, at least most of us, can't afford to be buying panels every year. I don't even want to waste the time to do new ones every year. Seriously, I spent most of the summer just painting, I don't know, like 20 of them. And I don't have to redo that. That was the whole point of doing it, so that you don't have to do it next time. Okay, get some more paper off. No, does not want to go. There we go. Because this is the part that stays. That's why we're going to make sure the paper comes off a bit. Alright, hey, looking good, sir. Looking good. Alright, can we get the shoulder, I guess? Probably should cut that one in the middle so it was a little bit easier to get off, but I think we can make that one a little more bigger, more noticeable what this is. Maybe like go down here to the shoulder. Yeah, this is where you can like take liberties with stuff once you've got the cuts in, and you're like, hey, that looks pretty good. But if we did this, maybe like a little thicker here or whatever. Definitely do that after the paper is removed and you've taken, a lot of the pieces out already. If not, you might not know what you're working with yet, so don't get creative too early. All right, punch these in. Looking good. We're making progress. All right, that is definitely not. This one, it got a little, yeah, thanks, there we go. I got a little gap right there where I didn't even meet the cut, so I have to redo this one. That's so funny. This stuff you can't notice until like the paper's gone and you start punching pieces out. And I didn't finish this one. And I don't remember what it's supposed to look like because the paper's already gone, so we'll just do this with it. We'll get a little creative ourselves. Yeah. Aha. Hopefully it'll punch out easily. Cut across to make them smaller. Hopefully easier to punch out. That one didn't want to go. That one doesn't want to go. Anybody? Anybody want to go? Thank you so much. Sometimes when you have like a longer piece, once you get one to go, the others are like, all right, I guess we can pop out too. Ooh, almost broke that one. That's a really small piece that's still attached to the pumpkin. That one doesn't even go there. There we go. Goes in there. And this piece is still being a rascal and still won't come out. So let's try it again. We'll get it eventually. I can feel that it's almost there. Be nice to me. There we go. There's one piece and the next. All right. Come on, paper. You don't want to be here. Okay, that's good. Next. Okay, looks like we're missing some of the pieces that is for his ear. Doesn't look like they came out very good. You have to be really delicate with these. Just a little pokey. The also good thing about these pumpkins is when you're cutting them, they don't make any sort of, smell or, lovely toxic fumes. Seriously. No good. No good with that. Because if you're cutting foam for like tombstones, no. Do not do that indoors. You must do that in a well-ventilated area because that foam will definitely be making stuff that you should not be breathing in. Okay, that's connected. Okay, so we just cut there. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Okay. Some more loosey-goosies. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you don't want to go. Okay. No, that one doesn't want to go. They're just being incorrigible today. There we go. Maybe like this little piece. Don't break the eyeballs, please. Thank you. That one's not going to go. Okay. Little part of the hat go. Yeah, we're getting into some dangerous territory. And I never finished cutting this one across either. Okay, so that one goes there, and this one goes right there. That was the whole side of the hat. And, ooh, almost broke it. Almost broke it. It was the whole side right here that I didn't even cut. But it's, it's easy to miss that with the paper in the way. Anybody want to go? Nobody? Okay, well, we'll just have to make a few more cuts to loosen it up. Now, that looks like that's why this one is not going anywhere. Because it was never cut. There we go. All right, you want to go last piece of the hat edge? There we go. Yay. All right. Why does your ear look like that? All right. We'll just not think about that for right this second. All right. We'll save the big old hat pieces for last because this is getting pretty weak. So we got to be really careful now when we're pushing these out. You can make lots more cuts in these pieces so that they'll pop out easier, but in smaller pieces. All right. Why do you not want to go? I see that you don't want to go. Be really careful. It's a very thin piece that's attached to. Super slow. Be patient. Don't wreck this thing. Okay, I'm going to give it some support because it's just that little piece there holding all of that in. None of you want to go. So mean. If we can get like one corner of something. There we go. Okay, that one went. That one went. I can still feel it attached to the back, so I don't want to break it by forcing it. There we go. I think it might go now. Ah, that was very, very loose. Okay, I'm going to hold that for support and just push gently. Gosh, it's still stuck to it right there. What a rat. What a rat. What a maroon. And that is also still attached. Be very careful. Because these that I'm getting into also don't have any support based off of the type of like design. Woo, that's, I don't know if you can see the whole thing. It like moves really easily right now. That is so easy to break. Okay, we're gonna wait on that and see if the hat will just push through. Thank you, hat. That was very kind of you to go. Alrighty. That one's still attaché. No, you are attached somewhere else, and I can't figure out quite yet where it is. So, all right, that one. Ooh, we almost broke that piece off. Good job, Bob. Almost there. Almost there. I'm gonna be really, really careful. Okay, that piece looks like it'll go. All right. And are you cut all the way through? Looks like it. All right. I don't know why I didn't add some cuts to this piece. It's a big piece. With a very small piece attaching it, so that's, I can see it's not finished right there. Okay. That would not have been good if I tried to do that. Now let's not cut through the very last piece. Woo, that was close. That was close. Okay. All right. What do we have left? Anything? And there's a little piece on the ear, but I'll just forgive that. Let's do a little tiny bit of cleanup. Actually, one piece right here needs to be pushed out. And it's not cut. So we shall cut it. That's why it didn't pop out. Okay. Do a little bit of cleanup there. Some cleanup right there. And we can add like a little bit of something right there to pop out, just to give the hat a little bit more depth. If I could get that piece to come out. What else? Oh, yeah, that needs to go. That piece also apparently right here needs to go. There we go. Looks like it will go now. All right, and we can do like a little bit more here. Very, very carefully. Okay, pop that one out. And where's my hokey? Little piece. Pop that through. Okay, what else? What else? I think that the shoulder, well, this thing right here, that's barely even in there. Don't break it, don't break it, don't break it. All this work, don't break the Indy. Okay. Your face, sir, your face. Needs a little bit thicker right there so we can see what it is that we're looking at. That's your jawline and, well, ear. Okay, this is the whatever thingy right here. I don't know what part of you that is called. Okay, that one's gone, and we can make this shoulder thingy just a tad wider to match the other side. Yeah, this part, make sure you're not pushing hard or else it'd be like, wah! Yeah, you don't want to do that. Just little stuff here, there, and everywhere. Alright, get that. And obviously made another cut. Made this one like a little bit thicker. A little bit more, just here, there. A couple thingies here, there, and it'll be done. I'm really not sure what part of him that is, but it was in the pattern, so I cut it. You know what? We can actually make his shoulders go down to here too. Why not? Why not? Make it match the other side. There we go. Pop that one through. All right. Now the fun part. I'm going to do this over the garbage can, though. All right. Blech. What a mess. It's still not coming at all into the garbage can, but that's okay. We'll clean that up when we're done. Those go in. Pick up anything over here. Boop. All right, I think it's good. Let's turn off. Turn that off and move it away from what we're going to be doing next. Actually, I'm going to unplug it because I want that light switch. So, ta-da! Yay! But that's not the best part. We got to light it up, right? Oh, I did forget one more thing, but what would be the best way to light this up? We can still put those. Let me plug this back in really quick because luckily it's still hot. This and the on. Okay, I think it's still hot enough to do this. Where is your reverse? There we go. Pop that out. Is that big enough to get it in? Sorry, Andy. I don't want to make a bigger hole because I'm not going to be using those candles to do it. Although I could, okay, hot knife off and unplugged. I could just plug those other lights that I got. I got those for Christmas. It's very old school, but it's these flicker ones. I had them plugged in for a little while earlier because I wanted to see how hot they would get. Because sometimes you don't want to be putting hot stuff with the pumpkins. And sometimes it doesn't matter. So we'll leave those over there. We'll have to do the other side. All right. So plugged in. This is what those look like. Probably seen them maybe seen them in, say, chandeliers or whatever. But right now we're just going to do one and put it in the bouquet. Dun 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 dun. Okay. But gotta turn the light off for this. All right, how dark did we get? Not super dark, but yeah, you can get an idea of what it looks like. Is it even flickering? Flicker, you flicker. I don't know. Right now, I think it kind of looks better with the lights on and it just turned off. Ta-da! There's the Indy. So let's get another opinion of how it looks. Da-da-da-da, from the one who originally wanted it. All right. Take the light out. Ta-da!
Ooh, I love it.
I know it's not dark enough to light it up properly, so. But yeah, I think it's looking good. I don't have the paper anymore. Is it before or after? But
I like it. It looks good.
yep, I think it's pretty good too. Good thumbs up. All right.
It's really cool.
Good. Oh, there you are, sweet pea. No, wait. You want to go over here? Yeah, sure. Where you at? There you were. Oh, yeah. There you are. Okay. Well, I think this is. Oh, what are you scared of? What are you scared of? Oh, you poor thing. You're scared. Somebody scaring you, huh? Oh gosh. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I wasn't able to, reply to any chats, questions. Sorry about that. Gotta keep an eye on where the hot and sharp things are going. Yeah. All right. You want a hug? Okay, I'll hug you. I'll hug. Yeah. Were you scared? Loud noises scare her, so maybe the neighbors were banging on something. Yeah.